Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Anything and Everything with Matt. This is one of our first podcasts I'll be posting. One of many. This is January 1st, 2018, so it's a good start to the new year. Hope everyone else is living up to their New Year's resolutions as well. This podcast is about anything and everything, so we don't really have a specific topic unless we have a specific expert on or someone who wants to talk about something in specific. Other than that, we're just going to let the conversation roll naturally, and hopefully it'll be entertaining to some of you folks. Thank you all for listening, and hope you enjoy.
Anything with Matt.
I'm here today with my buddy Comron.
Yeah.
How's it going, man?
Doing good, man. How about you? Thanks
Good.
for having me. I enjoy talking with you no matter
Yeah.
what the situation is.
Of course, dude. Long time. It's been a very, very long time.
Yeah, we don't get to see each other enough for how much we just hop right back on.
Yeah.
You know, every time we speak, we always just jump right back into place. And
We briefly, I remember you'd hit me up and stop by randomly at my house and say hello to my mom.
We
and
should hang out more.
Yeah. Now that you're back for a little bit, we'll take advantage.
Yeah, man. Every time I am, I'm sorry. Whenever if I'm not responding, it's not because I'm ghosting. It's I got a zillion things to do while I'm home, and
I'm the same way.
everybody wants a piece of me when I'm home, like
I
to
bet.
do something, you know, whether
Especially
it's
when
like
you're gone.
parents or whatever. Like tonight, I cooked them dinner.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, and then you're like, hey, can you come over? I'm like, fuck, well, I don't want Matt to think I'm ditching him or trying to dodge him, so I'll just go right after dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to be busy after you've been gone for so long, you know?
Yeah, I've been only home 22 of the last 148 days, so...
Jesus Lord. The longest I've been away was a week.
Oh, man, I don't even count that as a tour or anything. A week? That's
Maybe a
nothing.
10-day vacation at most.
Takes about 2 weeks to get my feet wet.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I've never even been away that long from home.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
It's gotta be.
Yep.
Let's see, back in, I believe you're in 8th grade, and I was in 6th grade when I heard you guys created a band in high school. You guys were like one of the only bands back in high school. I think there was another one, or I think that was a thing though back then.
Yeah, there was a lot more back then. And I think it's just because the technological world now, kids just make like music easily. They're not really into making a band, going out and playing shows because everything's done so.
And that music was way more in back then as well.
Yeah, it definitely was. You know, rock and roll has plummeted a little bit, but I think that's also because people aren't genuine about it anymore. You know, I
agree.
I think people aren't genuine about a lot of the things they do. Like a lot of people want to live the rock star lifestyle rather than putting in the work that it becomes to become a rock star. So when you do stuff like that, you know, people get discovered, sometimes luckily younger, or maybe not as practiced in their craft as they should have been. And nowadays everybody has co-writers and whatnot, or people writing their music for them, and they're obsessed with that rock star lifestyle and just aren't obsessed with practicing their craft and making the best music they can. They're obsessed with just, it's kind of like a drug, you know. I mean, even me sometimes I have to calm myself down because like we're not the biggest band in the world by any means, but we definitely have fans, and it feels good to be on tour because when I'm out there, it's every night people tell me how great of a human being I am, how cool, you know, how that set was or how this song makes them better. I feel like, yeah, I'm doing something for my life. You know, people are stroking your ego each night, and who doesn't love getting their ego stroked like that, you know? So the first time I really realized that to me, like when like people get really into the lifestyle,
It's hard.
rather than the work. Well, the thing that's crazy is I went on tour as a tour manager for another band. And my mother goes, are you sure you're going to want to do that? And I go, well, why wouldn't I? Like, I love touring. She's like, yeah, but when you're on tour right now, you're playing, and everybody loves you when you play. You're a tour manager for another band. No one's going to know who the hell you are there. You're not going to get your ego stroked every night. I'm like, no, I don't care about that. But then I'm sitting there tour managing. I'm like, well, this sucks compared to normal tour. Like, I didn't realize, like, being out of the situation, like, being out of my normal element where I'm a player, I'm an entertainer for my fans. They enjoy it. Then when I'm running this person's show for them and collecting money and just making sure stuff happens on time, it's not as fun. You know, it's fun because you're with your friends and you're traveling, but, you know, you don't get that 30 minutes to an hour of playing and then the hour afterwards of taking pictures of people want you to sign their stuff. It's like, why do you want me to write my name on your damn phone?
That's gotta
Why
be
do you want me
awesome.
to write my name
on your phone?
To me, like, I've
signed the screen?
I've signed the back of it always.
Oh.
I think it's so weird. I've signed so much odd stuff.
How about body parts? How many body parts?
I refuse to do anything sexual.
Really? You never signed a tit? Like a top of a tit?
Nope, I never have done it.
Good man.
Yeah, well, I mean, I try to go ahead and think, you know, that's not what rock and roll's about. People think rock and roll's about sex and drugs. To me, rock and roll's about the message of changing the world and changing something that's fucked up right now. And that's what it is. And to me, doing stuff like that, that's an old cliche that some idiot like Motley Crue started or something, and I'm just not into that. I'm not into spreading that message. My message is the message to make a change.
And you guys do have very powerful lyrics. Your guys' lyrics stand out from any other shit. And that's like the only rap music I'd ever even listened to are the ones where the lyrics stand out.
Yeah.
And that's truly an artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
compared to like the dude who's singing the Gucci Gang song.
Yeah,
80% of the song is
that's just
the same
songs
word.
in general today. So what's weird with music and what's cool at the same time is how you were just saying a minute ago. You know, that style of music was more popular back then. We're in a very similar form to the 80s. I know, you know, none of us were alive in the 80s, but I'm very well knowledge in music. And when you hear music, rock and roll was still very prominent back then. But it was bands like Motley Crue putting out like songs like "Ain't Nothing But a Good Time." It's about partying, and that's what a lot of that music was about. And same thing with right now. But then what happened was there was this artist named Nirvana that came through and made rock and roll back to being about the everything, the melodies of the song, the greatness of the song, the angst that you could feel, the change that wanted to happen, these lyrics. And then came through the 90s and the 2000s where all these great bands that a lot of people loved. And eventually the party anthems come back now, you know what I mean? It's like, I got bad bitches, that's a fucking problem. You know what I mean? Like, you like bad bitches, that's your problem. Like, that's really something
problem.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got
do.
99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Like, things like that.
It's completely, and I think we see how it reflects how we act with society.
Well, because it's the thing. When people listen to those music, what I think, and I feel really bad about right now, is because you think about people, like, in our parents' age, like, when they think about those anthemic songs throughout their high school years or something, maybe it's like We're the Champions by Queen. Or maybe, you know, it's a great, beautiful, like, song by the Beatles, and it's, I don't know, I Need Help, or it could be, you know, Let It Be, or something like that. These great anthemic songs that these generations may have had. What the fuck's gonna be our generational song?
I know. Looking back on it.
What's it gonna be 20 years from now? Like, oh my gosh, this was so great.
I don't understand it either.
And I'm sure there are artists that do have a good meaning still, but a lot of them aren't discovered because that's not what's selling right now. What's selling is that party mentality.
Pushed underneath.
Fuck as many people as you can, get as fucked up as you can. There's nothing positive about a change right now. But at the same time, I don't know if everybody, you know, the people that run the world actually want there to be a positive message about change. It's about get these people as doped up and drugged up as we can so they can't think for themselves.
Exactly.
Like, that's how I feel about it. I mean, I don't know.
So is it them influencing us, or are we giving them the power to be who they are? Is the public giving them the power to make...
By them, do you mean the musicians?
The musicians, like the people, and whoever's the ones who are employing these people, because we know that it sells. We know that these partying and rapping about bragging and all this money you have,
it's all genres in general, like... Even like Taylor Swift, like I love Taylor Swift, she's one of my favorite artists, but I hate the 1989 album because, like, you know, there's songs like Shake It Off, which isn't a positive song. It's about her going out being a hoe and just shaking it off when anybody tells her she has a problem. You know, she's like, I go on too many dates. I'll just shake it off. Like, what? Like, that's the message that's out here? It's not rap, it's not just... And even rock and roll, like, they do it too. Like, the bands out there, like, you know...
When I grew up, the favorite... the songs that I catch myself listening back to are, like, 3 Days Grace, Theory of a Dead Man, some of those, like, good, like, some of them, like, sing about, like, fucking breakups and fucking...
Emotional songs.
Yeah, dude, they have, like, meaning behind this song.
Yeah, instead of it being, like, you know, even, like, Buck Cherry's one of the bands, like, when, like, they got really popular, they had a song, and it was like, she's a crazy bitch, but she fucks so good, I'm on top of it when I dream of doing you all night. Like, what? Like, that, these are the lyrics that we're trying to inspire people. Like, I want to open our next record, because our next record is a lot more controversial and a lot more real meaning things and a lot more to heart than anything we've ever done.
Really?
And like, the first song is this anti-racism song called Off to the Races, and it's about, like, getting rid of racism if we can, you know, and, like, all these things. Like, it has some really crazy lyrics in there. It says, like, if I had my way, I'd cut the throats of the lawless sheep that live in blind supremacy. Like, stuff like that, where it's, like, really, like, it's really detailed. Like, you know, if I ever had my way,
like, you have to,
like, like,
it's a poem. It's a lyrical poem.
Like, I'm trying to think of the bridge, and it says something like, you know, I'd sever your tongue if I ever had a chance to try. And, like, certain things like that, it's kind of like when NWA made Fuck the Police, except in a more, I guess, politically correct way, and a bit more poetic than that, which, I mean...
I feel like that's gonna blow up.
I hope so, but, like, at the beginning of the album, I already told everybody, I want to open it up with just, like, a whisper, like, if you had a chance to be heard, what would you say? And then it kicks right into that song. Because that's the thing to me, if you have an opportunity to be heard, I'm not going to blow up bullshit smoke up people's asses. I want to have people hear something, and I want them to learn from it.
Yeah.
I don't want to just tell them. I want them to learn.
At
least what I believe my views are right, and I think they're right, or maybe not even right. I can always learn. But what I think are good and spreading good throughout the world.
I agree.
I don't want to spread evil.
That's why that's one of the reasons why I want to start this podcast. Is because of that, you know, like, I truly believe that the world needs more people thinking positive and thinking for a better future. That's really cool, though. that you guys are doing.
Well,
I like that one song you guys made about heroin addiction, The Cure.
Yeah, Broken Road. Like, to me, like, Justin didn't even want to put that song on the record at first, and I had told him, like, are you kidding me, dude? Like, this song has such cool lyrical content. And he goes, no, it doesn't. And he wrote it subconsciously. Like, at this point when Justin wrote that song, he had never tried a drug in his life, and he wrote it watching Drugs Inc. And so, like, it's such like a cool, it has a fun catchiness, because it says, like, one more time, two more time, three, and like, I always think songs that count off 1, 2, 3 in a way are fun. So the chorus is, one more time down this broken road, 2 more lines to keep me hanging on, like 2 more lines snorting them, and then 3 more days until I'm waking up, you know. So it's like, it's really cool, like, in a sense, because, like, you know, you use this fun, like, way to make it catchy, but then when people sit there and listen to what it's saying, like, oh, like, I'm trying to think. It says, like, so, like, the lyrics, like, are you dead deep inside, or did you fail your fate to find? You know, what did you hide inside? And so, like, there's a lot of cool things where it really questions it, and that's, to me, that song really hit home, because one of my best friends in my first band, he became a heroin addict, and he had went ahead and told me, like, his veins are collapsed in his arms now, so he injects in his groin. I know, and it sucks. No. Deep down, he's a good person, and, you know, I don't know, you know, I mean, addiction may be a disease, and it probably is, but it's your choice to start doing that drug, which, you know, at the same time, and you know, this is a very controversial subject right now, but, like, there's a difference between diseases, to me, where it's something like cancer is a disease, you know what I mean? Because you didn't choose to take cancer on. For sure. You chose to take heroin, I mean, to do heroin.
Unless you smoke cigarettes or chewing tobacco all your life. Then cancer is is that a choice then, though, right?
I guess it is a choice still, you know, if you get some kind of cancer like that, but there are people who get lung cancer and never even smoked a cigarette in their life as well, but, you know, that's because of all the pollution on the earth. But it's really weird. Like, I don't know, and I don't wish addiction upon anyone. It's very sad, and I've had so many friends die to it, but, you know, it's crazy to me people even take these chances. Like, I remember my point with my best friend in that band when we kind of split ways, and it was one time when he told me, I remember I was sitting inside writing some song, and I asked him to come write with me, and he was sitting there, he's like, oh, let's go do this. It was like some kind of party, and he was first dabbling in weed, and, like, I don't count weed as a drug. I mean, like, weed is very, I mean, it can be, you know, any extreme, any too much of anything, you'll go ahead and
be a drug. Yeah, coffee's a drug, yeah.
Well, I mean, there are some stoners that are completely fully functional, but then there's some that are just lazy. And so I guess it all just depends on which person you end up being. Every drug handles everyone different. Everybody handles every drug differently. Yeah. And I remember he went off to the party to go mess around and dabble in some drugs, and he goes, I don't want to just sit inside my room and write songs all day. I want to be cool, like have popular, like have a life or something. I'm like, I don't give a shit about right now. I give a shit about the future. That's what I always said. Now he's like a horrible heroin addict, but he has a beautiful story that he tells within that, and within the music video at the intro, he tells the whole story about how he goes ahead and has robbed women at gunpoint and stuff like that. Not even $5, sometimes nothing at all, he says in there, and he says, like, you know, you couldn't leave this room right now because I would steal this camera right from you. And it's like, that's so sad, but he's such a good human deep down, and it's like, you get trapped into these things. Yep. And I know he wants to get better, but at the end of the day, it's hard, you know. Like they say, that's where the disease factor comes in, because, you know, it's the same thing to quit, but you get the disease by choice in a sense.
Yeah. I hate even saying that my dad was a heroin addict and he died from that, because it automatically puts a fucked up image in your head of who he was. And like,
but I'm sure your dad had something great deep down, man.
Yeah, like, and before that took over, that's what I'm like. What you were saying.
Your mom is such an amazing human being. I love your mother to death. Thanks. I haven't seen her in years, and I can't imagine your mom
ever being with anyone who's
gonna go ahead and, you know. I don't think anybody. I don't know. I mean, I've never done it. To me, the drugs, like in certain drug aspects, have never even came across my mind. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do this tonight. Like, yeah, and I don't know if that's how it ever goes for anyone, but. To me, when anything's been offered, like I've been on tour a bunch, dude, I get offered cocaine at least once a week, and never once have I been like, you know, fuck it, let's snort this line. And, but, you know, I know fully functional cokeheads as well, but, you know, I mean, everything's different. I don't know. Playing in the devil's world, I don't know about all that stuff, you know, and taking the risk on it, but... I don't know, man. I don't think anybody goes in deciding I want to be a heroin addict. I want to go ahead and ruin my life.
I think it's something different. I don't think it's necessarily a disease or a choice. I don't know
where their dark spot is and point at that at life. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Like I hope the best for everybody that is an addict, and I really hope they can all recover. But
it's cool that you guys are making songs about stuff like that, though.
Yeah, well, it's crazy.
There's no songs about that shit.
Yeah.
Maybe Logic has a couple of ones, and he's the only one. He's blown up from those songs. You know? I mean, if you guys are doing that same shit.
Yeah, it's crazy because I feel like a lot of people don't care about the message right now in music, but the fans that we do have love our message.
And that's what's more important than even getting more famous, is that fact that you're creating butterfly effects in everyone's life.
Yeah, I hope that one day maybe someone watches the video for Broken Road and they see it. This is a true story for some kid that's on there that's spilling out his heart, because Nick, even when I asked him to come do this, I'm like, I know you don't want to go ahead and reveal yourself to the world. Like we have got a lot of fans, so he's gonna be on YouTube to hundreds of thousands of people. spilling out that he's a heroin addict, and nobody wants to admit that, but he said he didn't care about that. He wanted to go ahead and hope that he could prevent someone from touching it.
Did he get a lot of people reach out to him or anything?
I didn't release any of his information.
Okay.
Like, I never tagged him online or anything, because I don't know if he wanted all that. But a lot of people reached out to us and told us how much that's helped them because their brother or something is dealing with addiction, how real this really is. And a lot of people, it doesn't even have to be heroin, man. It could go ahead and be any kind of pills. Pills are crazy too, you know what I mean? Yep. There's all kinds of drugs out there. It could be alcoholics that, are just horrible with it. And so to me, I don't know. That was just one of the songs on that record. And even now, we have like a really cool song about blisters. It's called Blisters, and it's about people that work really hard, like labor jobs. And how we're not really taught to really dream. And it's about, I got blisters on my fingers because I grind to pay the bills. And then that's what we're saying. It's like these hard workers. And Justin wrote about his dad because his dad's
Is this the new album that's going to drop?
Yeah. So his dad is what was that?
Does it have a name yet?
It's called The New Hope.
The New Hope?
Yeah, A New Hope. So
A New Hope? I like it.
I want it to be the new hope for rock and roll.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's going to be called The New Hope. And
The New Hope?
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
So that's what I wanted to do. And pretty much the song's about how Justin's dad is, he's a welder. And, his dreams were much different than welding growing up. But, in this world that we live in, you're taught to dream until you become 18 years old. And then it's like, nope, go do something in the real world.
Yep.
But your whole life, elementary school,
taught to dream until then.
Middle school, elementary school, it's like, oh, do this art. You could be anything you want.
I remember throwing up those papers. What do you want to be when you're older?
Yeah.
Like in 7th grade. And like, what?
It's like
you had a choice of anything.
Yeah, and and they coddle you. But then as you get older, you realize these things are pretty hard to do.
Yep.
And I don't know. That's one song is Blisters. Another song is called I'm trying to think. It's called because we changed the name so many times. These songs before they ever get released. And another song is called Built to Last. And it's about the chorus says, sometimes I wonder, when is this hamster wheel gonna end? When will I get up again and realize, when will I get up and realize I am whole again? So it's like the song's about everybody, like how we're all, even if you're a musician, you're kind of like always stuck in these places and you repeat the same thing and you're almost in a hamster wheel and your day is on repeat, not just, and like a lot of people maybe think that we're trying to bash workers or whatnot because get up, go to your job, drive back home, and you repeat your life. Even me, I'm on tour, I'm the same thing. It's just a different city. Like a lot of time, I'm in a van all day, load in, do this, and repeat. And it's, when is the hamster wheel gonna end? When are you gonna feel that fulfillment? When are there gonna be these changes, these happier things? Like when is there more to life? And that's what that whole the hamster wheel theory, not hamster wheel, the theory, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of
like the idea behind it though.
Yeah, the whole idea of.
It's pretty deep though. It's all about really finding what you love, and at least that you're touring, you may be feeling like it's on repeat, but you're doing stuff that you
I'm doing something where I feel like I'm making some kind of change in life. Like I said, right now, man, I got a side job with AT&T and I'm making more money than I would if I went to college. But at the end of the day, what the fuck am I doing for the world? I don't give a shit about that money. I'd rather be a poor musician than do that, or at least I need to make something to have a place to live. But the end of the day, to me, it's like, have you ever seen the movie Risky Business with Tom Cruise? It's a big 80s movie. And everybody, they're in their senior year and they're all talking. And they're like, oh, this guy makes X amount of money a year. This person makes X amount of money a year for this occupation. And Tom Cruise stops at everybody. And this is how I've always felt. And it was so cool that I saw this in this movie recently. He says, does anybody give a damn about making a difference? Or do all they care about is making money? And the friends go, I want to make money. And that's crazy to me. That's the aspect of life. It's like, that is a lot of people though. That's nuts to me. I've always wanted to say, if I'm not a musician, I want to be like a teacher. Because I want to be a teacher that gives a damn about teaching a kid more than a fucking packet or more than the worksheet. I want to teach kids outside the curriculum, and I want to make a difference. I don't care if I'm making $40,000 a year only doing that, and that's what I'm capped at forever. I'm here for my life only, and life can be tough for a lot of people, and it's tough for everyone. No matter where you're at, no matter how rich you are, how in love you are, life is tough. So what you can do as a human being is just try and make it a little bit less tough on other people. Don't be an asshole and try and help and make people's lives happier. That's just how I've always felt.
It's a very great way to put it.
Yeah, man. So why the hell am I going to sit there working in an office trying to make money instead of going out and trying to affect some kid's life that will maybe make them happier? And just do little gestures, like opening a damn door and saying thank you for the next person when they go through. Just trying to make life happier for people. I want it to be like a 50s TV show where some kid walks in the store. It's like, hey, how you doing today, Skeeter? You know what I mean? How you doing today, Scooter? How you been, little buddy? Yeah. Blah, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Instead, nowadays, people think you're weird when you're like, hey, when you walk into a store, it's like Best Buy or something. You walk in and like, hey, how are you today? And it's like, hey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's so weird to me. No, it's I wish like, but it's so weird because if you try and make conversation with people, they look at you like you're weird. Like,
Yeah.
you go to like, if you're on like public transportation or something one day, you'd be like on the train, this person sitting next to you, hey, how you doing? That would be so weird. They'd be so weirded out, and we'd feel uncomfortable. Like me, even as a person that likes to try and do that, I feel so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'd be like, why are you talking to me? Why am I having human interaction? I want to go to my digital interaction on my Black Mirror. You know,
it's so weird. It is weird. Yeah,
it's so odd.
But how you put that too, and like what on making an impact on people's lives. Like life is already hard. Why make it harder for people? You know. And I heard kind of like the same kind of quote, like, if you, every step that you take, you take a step that makes ripples of shit, right? Like you take a negative step that will, eventually these ripples of shit are going to turn into waves, and it's going to butterfly effect into something later on. Like every bad decision or negative decision you make can lead on to something bad for somebody else, you know, whether it's you're actually interacting with them face to face or it's just something that you do, like fucking littering and shit like that, you know, will add up to the bigger problem in the end.
Yeah, a lot of people just think about me right now. People don't think about the future. Like, I'm very much a environmentalist on a lot of spots. I'm very much a, you know, I mean, I hate saying this part because I hate saying like a vegetarian or something because because I don't ever tell people I'm vegetarian. Like when I go out to eat, like even when I go out with like a girl on a date, I don't even mention it. I just order a meal, and if my friend wants me to, if I have friends over and I'm cooking food and they want like steak or something, I still cook it for them. That's them, you know. That's what they want to live their life. I don't want to push things on other people. But you know, I'm very much about, you know, what's going to affect the world all these years later. You know, like, so like when my environmentalist spot, like, you know, I would never litter, and people, when I yell at them for it, they're like, oh, it's not going to affect me. Yeah, but you know, you're going to have kids, and even though they're not here, I don't want them to live a shitty life. Why would I want them to do that? You know what I mean? Like, why would I want to put more, like, back to my thing. Life's tough for everybody. Why make it any more, you know, tough on anyone else?
Yeah.
Why? What is the point of that?
Yeah, like it's important to make, you know, positive ripples, you know, for sure.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we haven't talked about, I guess you haven't said the name of your band yet.
It's called Open Your Eyes.
Yeah, which is also a great name.
Yeah, we wanted a name that had like a message behind it. Like, we're looking at names, and like, you know, a band that does it now is Rise Against. You know, they're very political. They very much, if you listen to Rise Against and you sit there and listen to the lyrics, you know what the hell they're talking about. And that's, you know, I mean, we just wanted something to talk about.
That's kind of how you guys are a good comparison to Rise Against, at least with lyric-wise. And
yeah, lyrical content we are. I think, like, Rise Against is more just driven for a political sense, while we try to hit everything. Yeah. Just because...
you guys have the whole spectrum of shit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Everybody, there's 4 people in the band. Everybody lives a different life. Everything's different. So why not try and grab everybody else's, like... I don't know, man. So many things. I could go on forever about the horrible things I think there are in the world, but that's another thing too. I try to not spend all the time thinking about all the horrible things, while I try to go ahead and think about the beautiful things that we always take for granted. Kind of like...
So you're an optimist or pessimist?
I don't know, man. It probably just depends on the day. Some days, you know, as a human, you get down no matter what. You're just not in the mood for life. But then, you know, some days I go ahead and I see a sunset and I'm like, man, this is insane. Like, what did I do to deserve this? Look how beautiful this world is. Like, and then sometimes I'll sit there and be like, look at the chances of life, dude. Like, that's so crazy.
You get those weird, overwhelming feelings sometimes, like, how am I here?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's, you know, such a beautiful thing to think about is, so, as far as we know right now, I know we don't know 100%, but we're pretty confident. Within our solar system, there's no other life forms as far as we know. So, you know, whatever there could be, you know, I'm not denying it by any means, but as far as we know, there isn't. So think about this right now. What are the odds of life happening even? As of right now, we don't know if there's any other, not even just in our solar system, in the entire space, we don't know if the, you know, entire universe of life, if there's any other life forms. I believe there is somewhere, granted, even though
I'm pretty sure they found microbial life.
Oh, I mean, that's still life. I don't care what anyone says. Like, I think everything's living a life. But, you know, what are the odds that you go ahead and end up here? Like, how many times, and, like, you know, not trying to be vulgar, but how many times have you jerked off? How many times has a load been shot into anything else other than a pussy? And then on top of that, how many loads have you shot? How many sperm cells? There's millions of sperm cells in one load.
And what are the odds of
you're the one that comes out? That is fucking crazy.
It's, okay, what you're describing, it's so weird because I remember having those same exact thoughts. And I don't know if this was me becoming, like, a self-aware being from when I was just more of like a little kid as like a drone, but I remember specifically Like, you know when you can remember times you thought or smelt a smell, and you can remember the specific area?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you remember those times.
This is a memory I've always remembered since I was a child. I remember I was in Disney World, and I remember contemplating. I was in like one of those deep epiphany thoughts like that you lose after like 5 seconds. After you realize you're in one, you lose it. But I remember thinking, like, what are the odds of me being here and being this person and being born to these parents and being at Disney World and being in this body. It just really, really made me feel very tiny, like, and a part of something so much bigger, like, and random, like, just it made me feel grateful, and I really I remember doing that at a young age.
Fun fact I want to sidetrack to. A lot of people always like thought our sperm shirt was cool, but that's what it was about. And so it was a sperm breaking through, and you're that one. That's what we always, that song we had back in the day, Lucky 713. We just named the.
You guys have been that deep for that long?
Yeah. So like that song is called Lucky 713. That song is called. And so we fictionally made up the number that the sperm cell that got chosen to live the life was 713. Wow. And so that's what that was, the 713 breaks out, the sperm cell breaking through. And in there they have a cool line that says, we're talking about life, and it says, consider it a favor, not a flavor, and get over yourself. You know, to have the opportunity to even live life. And that's, you know, I've stood on that for a long time. It's like...
Where did you hear that quote? Did you come up with that?
No, Justin wrote that one. Wow. You know, it says, consider it a favor, not a flavor, and get over yourself. That's the lyrics in the song Lucky 713 that shirt was all about. So it's on the Breed CD, so yeah. And the thing is, to me, like, some days I get down about life, but if you think about it, dude, you won the lottery by being here, man. Mm-hmm. You won the lottery. You were living. You were on Earth. And as tough as things get, it's better than to never have even gotten it at all. Yeah. No matter what, no matter how down you get. I always think about that. No matter what kind of
situation you were born into.
Like, I mean, when people say, like, nowadays, like, oh, I'm depressed, I'm a depressed human being, you know, or, you know, depression's such a big thing now, and everybody talks about it, but that's just being human, man. We get depressed. Yeah. Like, there's times I'm down in the dumps, like, to be 100% honest, where I'm like, fuck this, I don't want to live. Mm-hmm. I want to die. You know what I mean? And I think that. And then I really sit down and think about, wow, yeah, I've only got one chance here. Fuck it. Why not live it out for the... you know, 70, 80, 90, hopefully 150, 200 years. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, I don't ever want to leave Earth. Like, I've come to an appreciation with it now, no matter how hard things get. I don't ever want to leave.
No?
I don't want to die. Even if there is an afterlife, I don't even want to leave. I want to stay here.
Really?
Dude. I want to stay. I want to, like, try and be the protector of Earth and, like, try and motivate people.
So, if you had a chance of being immortal, you'd take it and never die?
Immortal and never die?
Yeah.
I'd never die. If I could go ahead and still be healthy, like move around.
Yeah, and you would never, like, you would agree, like, if it was like a curse, like, you couldn't undo it. You couldn't undo it.
It's a blessing. I'll totally take it.
But I'm saying, like, you couldn't back out. You couldn't kill yourself. You'd always, like, come back. So you would not ever want to pass on and see what's on after the afterlife. You're crazy.
No, man.
Wow. You're just not curious? You don't...
I'm curious, but there's also the chance of nothing.
For sure.
And so I don't want to fucking experience nothing. I'll take the deal. It's kind of like when, like, you win the lottery and it's like, we can give you this lump sum right now, or you could take X amount for however many months a year. Yeah, I mean, for however many dollars per month per year until it comes, you know, fully. You get more that way, I feel like, or you can take the lump sum, I think, and it's a little bit less. But who's to say that company isn't going to crash or whatever, wins the lottery, and that money's fucking gone later on? Hell no. I'm taking the money.
Oh my God.
That's the way I'm looking at it. I'm not passing up on life. I'm stoked to be here. I don't want to leave. Fellow humans, I know things could be shitty, but, you know.
Wow. So you're going to be the first one on the waiting list to get a robot body.
Hell yeah!
Transfer that consciousness.
Yep. Wow. Take me here, buddy.
Wow.
I don't know. Weird stuff, man. There's a lot of cool thoughts about life. That's why I like talking with this stuff. I enjoy this kind of stuff because, I don't know, people don't really talk about it.
Mm-mm. But I feel like everyone thinks it.
Everyone thinks it. Like I said, we're all human. It's kind of like depression. We all get depressed.
Yeah.
We're human.
It's also, everyone in the back of their mind thinks, where the fuck did I come from? Or why am I here? Or where am I going?
Or like, I mean, there may be people that don't think it for whatever reason. I feel like those are the people that are kind of like...
really drones. Like, they're droneless, mindless.
And I don't even know if it's their fault that they're droneless or mindless, because it could be whoever they're raised around. Completely. Like, you know, I mean, it could be your environment that you're part of. You know, I can't blame people for anything they become. Like, like I said, I mean, your parents do something, you're more than likely going to fall into that lifestyle that your parents did, because that's how you're raised. It's what you see. This is what you think is right. Like, going back to the talk to my mother about don't let my brains go south.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I can't really blame anyone if they end up becoming a drone. I mean, you do have the opportunities, but, you know, to break out of that, I don't know, man. Life is weird.
But I think it's also important to do what we're doing and talking and having these conversations.
It's important to talk about everything.
That's what if there is hope for any of those people that we're talking about.
Yeah, like if you're depressed, the best thing to do is talk to a real friend that gets you, and they will listen to your depression. Like any of my friends ever, dude, if they have any problem, I'm always down to talk. You know what I mean? I'm never like, oh, I'm sick of this shit. Just get over it.
Yeah, yeah.
The only time I'm sick of that is when one of my friends keep breaking up with their girlfriend and then keep getting back together with them. What do I do? I really like her this time. I've changed. Shut the fuck up, dude. I'll fall for it the first 7 times, but after 7, I'm done.
Oh my god. Yeah, that is honestly the only situation where it gets really annoying. So when are you guys going on tour next? When does that album drop again? When is it?
We don't know yet. We're still recording it.
Yeah.
Like
how many songs are on it?
We don't even know yet because we're still recording it.
Hell yeah. How many got so far?
7 are recorded, and we have over 70 demoed, though.
Wow.
So we have 7 we've already actually recorded. Over 70 have been demoed.
70 to just pick from?
Yeah, that we've already recorded, like, ourselves in our bedroom.
God.
And like, oh, this
that
is
aren't
pretty
out
good.
yet?
Yeah, no, yeah, they're just, like, our back catalog and stuff. And, like, we go through it every so often. Like, me and Justin are really the ones that choose the track listing, I feel like, because, I mean, we're kind of drummerless at the moment. We got a new guy. But our other guitar player, he just has a lot of stuff going on with life. Like, he's having a kid soon, so me and Justin have been taking a lot of the load on for the band at the moment, and pretty much, yeah, we just have like 70 songs, and him and I will like send each other a text back like every like couple weeks. I'm like, what do you think about this for the track listing of all, like, we have like the demos of all of them, and everyone's like, man, I'm like, well, what do you think if we grab this part and throw this part into this song, because I really like this part, but I don't think the chorus is good in it, so let's grab the chorus from this demo and throw it together. Wow. So yeah, that happens quite often too. And
cool.
Yeah, Justin's really creative. Cool. He has a bunch of songs like on there. I've helped write 2.
Really? Those are all from Justin though?
I guess like when you go down to songwriting is like what counts is if like bass doesn't count towards songwriting, which is really weird. But you know, it is what it is. But I mean, I write all my own bass parts and like I help with little things here and there. But like songs like the Off to the Races song, I came up with that concept. I came up with the vocal melody for part of it. I wrote the guitar part and the vocal melody for the bridge. So like that one's a real big co-write. And then another one, I wrote the song for the majority and Justin helped on all the other ends of it. So it's a really poppy song and really cool. But we don't know if we're going to end up picking that one yet. Wow. So I mean, I don't care if my song gets picked or not. I just want to pick whatever the fuck is best. I don't care about I don't have an ego when it comes to shit like that. I'm like, let me write my bass part and I'll be happy.
That's cool though. That kid is talented as fuck too.
Oh, he's so talented. He's a really cool person you should have.
I was going to say, would he ever come on?
100%.
Yeah? Hell yeah. I'd love to have him
talk
on.
about this. But, you know, Justin is, nowadays, he's more religious again. When I first met him, he was religious. And then now, like, you know, he doesn't even, like, questioning, like, that. I mean, he still is very insightful to talk to and learn a lot from. You know, I love Justin to death.
Yeah, I bet you he's a good conversation to have. We definitely got to plan something for sure.
Oh, yeah, Justin's awesome. Ryan, everybody in the band is really
I see him
cool
playing everywhere.
Yeah, that's what Justin does. He doesn't have a regular job. He's just
I figured. He must make good money, huh?
Hell yeah.
I can't imagine.
He makes $100 an hour doing that shit.
Wow. That guy is...
He works 3 days a week. And makes enough money to pay for all of his living and everything and more.
Wow. So. Yeah, and he just... For those of you who don't know, he our friend Justin goes around to local... What is it? Bars and restaurants.
Bars, restaurants, anything like that.
And he just does solo guitar.
He just plays guitar by himself. Sometimes he has another band, like he'll play with like a cover band, and they'll be like a full on band. But he's really cool, man. Like his
voice is so good.
He'll be playing, and then he records something on the guitar while he's playing it, and then he hits the pedal that records it, and then he'll play a different lead over it. So
my God,
he doesn't have to have anyone else. Yeah, so it's like a
on
lead
the
station.
spot.
Yeah. So he'll like have a lot of stuff like that where it's like multiple spots of his guitar playing and whatnot.
So it sounds just like crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, it'll be cool. Like, he plays a lot of covers when he does it, and then sometimes he'll throw in some OYE songs.
He's almost like a damn dual piano players, but like guitar.
He can play anything.
Yeah,
he can play piano too.
Jesus.
Yeah, and like I know he wanted to start learning violins, and he is just, I don't know, he's cracked the code on music and understands it phenomenally.
Well, if you could do guitar like he can, piano's probably simple as fuck. Because it's like
he wrote like one thing that I heard recently, and he's like going like like on a piano. I'm like, what? How are you hitting these notes as fast? You've never been a pianist. Like, how are you just going from not playing this instrument to like, oh, it's just this?
That's insane.
I don't get it. All of us aren't that lucky, but I'm lucky enough to get to play with them. Like, honestly, like, to this day, dude, like, I have an offer to play with another band. Like, I go out with them every so often. Like, they're going to Europe soon. And I got offered to go on a tour bus over Europe. That was my first time ever doing a tour bus. It's a double-decker tour bus.
Wow.
They're going to Italy, Paris, Czech, Austria, Germany, Scotland, all kinds of shit, England. It's like 9 or 10 countries. And I really want to do it, but to me, it's kind of like, I want to do it with Justin if I go for my first time. Like, my first time on a tour bus, first time in, overseas. Like, I've done Mexico, Canada, and the 48 of the states, so I don't know. It's like me and him made a package.
Save your overseas card for Justin.
That's nothing. And a tour bus card, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, I've wanted it to be like something we really deserve together.
Yeah,
it's like, all right, dude, we did this, we deserved a bus, we got it.
You guys have been together for so
10 years
long,
now. I've been playing with
man.
Justin.
So long.
And to me, I think I'm really lucky because, to me, dude, he's the best songwriter that's fucking walked the earth in my eyes, dude. Like, I love his music. Any song, even his songs that we don't end up picking for the record, I still think they're amazing. I love all of them. I listen to them all the time. Like, I'll go back on demos from when we were like 14 years old.
Oh, I love listening to the Breed.
Well, even like some demos that never made it, like or parts that cut out of songs. Like earlier we were talking about it, like the ripples you do or whatnot. And one of the lines that was really cool, it stuck in my head when he said, one of the lines that says, "All this time I've thrown away has brought me to where I am today." Wow. And I'm like, that's really cool, you know what I mean? Like, things like you've thrown away life on, but it brings you to where you are. And like, I like when things are poetic like that. Like, that's not even his most poetic line, but I love that.
Like, it's stuff that you can literally just, like, break down the lyrics and, like, has such deep meaning. It's like a poem.
Yeah, it's like oh, man, that's really cool. Like, because sometimes people feel like they threw away their life, but then they end up finding something else later on. And that's the thing. All this time I've thrown away has brought me to where I am today.
Like, I wouldn't have gotten to this point. I wouldn't have met this person if it wasn't for those paths that I chose. It's really awesome just to see that you guys are still together and like have you're like the heart of the band. You have. I feel like you guys had close calls before where the band was. You've lost the drummers all the time. Drummers frequently.
Yeah, and then Ryan's the only person, or the guitar
always...
player that's been with us. He's been playing with us since 2013 probably, so 4 years or so now, maybe a little bit longer. And Ryan's been a trooper. Surprised he lasted this long with us because nobody else ever does. Yeah. But I don't know.
How come the drummers always go?
I don't know.
Is it a hard spot to fill? Hard shoe to fill?
I think partially like the last drummer we fired that we had, she just wasn't putting in enough effort, so we had to fire her and move on and get someone else. And then drummer before that was a kid we had filling in, and like we're kind of testing the waters with him just because it's like I don't know if this is really gonna be the right thing, so we didn't put him in the band fully. Our other buddy was Shane. He played spinner on Degrassi, and I really wanted him to be in the band, not just because of the Degrassi factor, but because of he was a really good writer on drums. Like, he wrote a lot of cool stuff. He brought a really positive feeling to the band. Like, everything about him was really good. Very egoless for having a famous lifestyle at some point.
That's cool.
And then you got, I think before that, Christian, our old drummer. Like, I don't know, tons of people like Christian didn't like certain things. He didn't want to go like the label route and all stuff. He didn't want to try and get signed and whatnot. I think at first he did, and then he hated the idea that you have to like bend a little bit. You can't just do exactly what you want at all times. Like, sometimes a label will suggest like, oh, maybe you guys should wear this. Yeah, as long as I don't look like I'm fucking.
Really? What do they suggest? Like, wear what?
Things like, like your management, like, rip jeans or something. Like, I started doing things like our management's like, it looks better if you do this, whatever.
Really?
Like, and I'm like, oh, I'll check it out. And like, I'm not gonna be opposed to trying. I'm not gonna say no just because you told me. And now, like, I love these. Like, I wear these when I'm, not even
and if they know that it will work, fuck it.
Yeah,
right.
Usually, I'm not wearing a fucking uniform. Like, oh, what are you gonna go do? Get a job somewhere else? You don't have to do. You have to wear your fucking job uniform. Then I'm like, there's things that go with it. And like, my style on stage is pretty darn similar to what I wear off the stage. Sometimes I'll be a little bit excessive, but for the most part, it's shit like this, dude. And like, I love these pants down. Sometimes I'll wear regular, blue jeans, but I wear this a lot too. So I don't know.
Cool.
It's cool. Like, sometimes I like to have an edgier look. Sometimes I like to look normal, but certain things like that, little things where like, if like when you're working with a producer, like, you have to cut this part of the song. And, it's like, well, you probably make sense and I have an emotional attachment, but I'm not going to let my ego get in the way of it. But honestly, dude, I'm tired. I'm going to have to crash out at things soon.
All right, so I guess we'll wrap it up then.
Yeah, dude, I had a bunch of fun, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Things we got to talk about, things I don't know, you and I both see eye to eye on, so it's always fun. Like I said at the beginning, we just hop right back on track every time. Dude, like, no time stopped ever.
Yeah,
so.
I'm really glad you came. Hopefully we can get some more going.
Oh yeah, 100% we will.
We'll have to get Justin on too.
Yeah, we'll get some other people. We'll make it more interesting. Cool. I'd love to come on here as often as possible.
Cool, man. Definitely, you're welcome anytime you want.
Thank you, Matt.
All right, well, thanks for listening, everybody. You can subscribe to my Twitter. We got a Facebook. It's www.facebook.com/anythingandeverythingwithmatt. And yes, it's one long-ass word. So follow us on Facebook, Twitter, all that social media garbage. And thank you very much. See you next time.
Yeah. With Matt.